guys, GMP here today. So I have a special fun video for you guys, and it is based on a special game that I have always loved since I was in high school. The game is called, I know it's very hard to read, this box is very old. It is Atmosfear, the Harbingers. There have been many different versions of this game that has been produced, but let me go ahead and just go over the box. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see. It's got two glowy eyes. He's glowy, 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 glowy. And then there's a better shot of what it looks like on the side. And then this is what the back looks like. Very like 80s, 90s looking. I mean, I absolutely love the big picture. Unfortunately, it's very faded. But yeah, this game I played a lot in high school, and I absolutely loved it. And since we're getting into the spooky Halloween season, I wanted to show it off. So let's go ahead and get right in. And so the thing about this game which made it fun was it was one of those very rare VHS playable games. You put this in your VHS. For you youngsters, this is what came before DVDs. But so yeah, so you would put this in your VCR and watch it on the TV. We're going to just go over a couple of the pieces and set it up real fast. So here's some of our pieces. I am very paranoid and zippy bag everything. Put that over here. Get that out. Okay. This is a big, if some of you kids out there who have Mousetrap with all the little bits, this is like that. It really is. It's not as crazy fun like that, but it has multiple pieces and stuff like that. So we're going to move the box out of the way. Okay, so this is very intricate, very crazy. So you have a center hub, and then you have what they call, I believe, provinces. Now, I've not played this game in a couple of years because I recently dug this out of the, basically, attic, as it were. I'm going to try to get as many pieces in frame. If not, I am so sorry. We will go over a different section. This game, when you play it, and you might be able to find the recording on YouTube. If I do find a recording on YouTube, I will put the video recording in the description for you to get an idea. Now, this actually came with instructions, and it was like a 10, 15, maybe even almost close to 30 minutes. It felt like a long time. Instructions on how to play. I'm going to dumb it down and shorten it like we used to in high school because we didn't do the whole everything on it because it was a little too much. As an adult, feel free if you ever want to find this game, go right ahead. I must say, out of the 3 versions I saw, this is my favorite version. I love the gatekeeper, which is the glowy eye guy on the box. I like him a lot in this one.
A long time no see, hey? Did you miss me?
Other ones, he looks almost too cartoony, whereas this one's more like horror movie. So, alright, let's start off with the game. So you first set off your boards, alright? Actually, I was wrong. You gotta set them up on this side first. My bad. So let's go ahead and do that. I messed up, people. It happens. So now when you play this game, once you have it all set up, you have these sections in the middle. Alright? Everybody gets one thing when they start. You get a placemat, and you get what is called the Soul Riders. Now, y'all may see these guys and be like, oh, they look so cool. Yeah, you don't want to be one. You don't. It is not the funnest to be one of those guys. And I only have 3, which I thought I had more. But guys, this is an old game. I may have lost some over the years, but these are the Soul Rangers. Yeah, Soul Rangers. Everybody starts off, technically speaking, as one of those. So, you basically get, I'm going to dump all these out, it's going to make a lot of noise. Oh yeah, the jingle of old games. Okay, so, everybody starts off as a skull. Now, I think I do have one skull missing. I thought I found him a few years back, so he might be in a box somewhere else, which I think was number 2 I missed. No, there's number 2. They all have engraved numbers on their head. You know, kind of like a messed up version of Frighteners, if you ever know that movie with Michael J. Fox. But you start off with one of these guys, and your point is to get, move these guys out of the way, is to get to be a Harbinger. Now, there are 6, I think 6 Harbingers, no. Numbers are fun. 6 Harbingers. And what's really cool is when you watch the tutorial on how to do this, they go over the characters. And if you're someone who likes the 13th Ghost movie and like their backstories, these guys have it, and it's really, really cool. But so everybody's got like their own little spot. Like the cauldron goes there, the snake goes over here. That one, Elizabetha, I know that one because me and my friends would always fight over getting that one. Helena, the poltergeist. See, I'm actually, you know what's really sad is I'm remembering how they introduced them in the video, and that's how I'm trying to remember the name. Which is really, really sad. This guy always confused me. He looks like a leprechaun. His number's green, but he's a zombie. There's the witch, the werewolf, which I would think shark when I saw this, but let's not go there. The mummy, and yeah, so we'll go over them in a minute. But the whole premise of the game is everybody at first rolls dice. I have 2 versions in here because the game would get crazy. You roll the dice, and whatever number you roll, that's the skull you got. So technically speaking, I would be number 4. So I would be this skull. So if I wanted to get to Helena, or no, Elizabetha, we'll say Elizabetha, because that's the one I always went through, the vampire. You would have to go around here, and then come down here to get her. Now here's the problem. If you have a friend that's number 2, they can beat you to it. And that is one thing, if you ever play this game, that you have to do is, if you really want to play the game crazy style, have everybody go at whoever they want. But if you want to play the game to beat the gatekeeper, have everybody pick a character they're going for the beginning. Because, as I said, being a Soul Ranger, not that fun. Because one time, me and my friends were going after her. By the time everybody got close to finding another person, the gatekeeper's like, yeah, if you're not a Harbinger, you're not going to be one. So I wound up being the lovely Soul Ranger.
Anybody who has failed to make it to Headstone is never going to make it, for they are now Soul Rangers.
Now, not fun. So, anyway, whatever Harbinger you are, you get the little game piece. You put your skull back in the middle, because you don't need it anymore. And you get a set of cards. Each Harbinger gets a set of cards. So we're just going to pull those out. So yeah, see, they all got their little character names on them and stuff. And they got numbers. And that's for if you want to battle somebody. Yes, there's actually fighting in this game. So let's say, for example, you're playing the werewolf. You roll 4. You go against Elizabeth. She rolls a 7, she won, she gets to collect one of your key pieces. Now the whole point of this game is you're trying to get all the keys on this map. Each map has a special key color, and you have to do it before the gatekeeper ends the game, because if you don't...
It is over, you idiots. You have lost, and you only have yourselves to blame. So good riddance.
The gatekeeper wins. You're trying to beat your friends, and you're trying to beat the gatekeeper. There is, like, no teaming on this. There's not. So, the whole premise of the game is beat the gatekeeper, beat your friends, and get to the cauldron pot in the middle. And the cauldron pot is filled with everybody's fears, which you add at the very beginning of the game. Very fun. Very weird if you and your friends decide to do goofy answers. Really good game. Outside of that, while you're dealing with this, you can set up traps in front of people. You can put doors in front of people.
You are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Take a gate and place it directly behind you. Then miss a turn.
There's compasses you can teleport. Lightning bolts, I mean, you can fight somebody, and then there's black holes. And black holes are very much fun, like getting jail in Monopoly, when you don't want to be in jail in Monopoly. Very fun and very annoying.
Whose turn is it next? Heads up! Huh? I don't like the look of you, so you can forfeit your turn. So who's next? Heads up. You can forfeit your turn too. Now, who's next? Hands up. You are banished. What goes around comes around, hey?
So, I love this game. It is crazy, it is overwhelming, but it is a blast to play. For example, if ever you guys play this game, you also have these cards too, which the gatekeeper will randomly throw at your face.
So, whose turn is it next? Hands up! I want you to tickle my funny bone. Take a fate card and read it out loud.
And just a heads up, the gatekeeper, I think, has a military complex because during the whole game he calls you a maggot, so be careful on that one.
You could take that many free turns. Or you could point the finger at any maggot and force it to show its hand for the rest of the game by turning all its keystones around so that all may see. Your call.
So, like, for example, the host has decreed that all players must return one yellow keystone to where they found it in the province they took it from. And if they do not have a keystone, they must roll the dice to basically, if you do not have a yellow keystone, you must roll the die. So if you don't, you have to roll the die to find out what keystone in your pad and you got to get rid of. Really fun, really crazy. Now, this is the part me and my friends did not play. When you collect keystones, because it was just too crazy, you actually got powers. Now, if you ever want to play this game and you want someone, now this is the fun thing, you can actually have a friend be the gatekeeper and give him a timer to give you guys to try to beat. And that's when it can be fun, because then you don't have to rely on the VCR tape to keep up with the time. Because the VCR has a set time. If you actually have a friend to play the gatekeeper, you can have the game go on longer than the VHS, which I have done once, and it was a load of fun because your gatekeeper friend can be loads of fun. So, once again, you play as a character, you move around the board, you try to collect all the keystones. You can take keystones from other people when you fight them, or if you have a special power that you got from them, and people can take them from you. Now, once you do that, and you defeat the, let's say you defeat the game, you get to pick out all the basically scary stories or things people are afraid of, and you have to make sure the first one you pick is not yours. If it's not yours, great. You get to call it out, and the person has to admit who did it. And then that's usually the end of the game, or you can go through all of them, whereas the next person that comes up gets to pick the second one, and so on and so forth. And I've done that version. That version's a lot more fun because then nobody feels like they missed out and you're not focusing on the one person that got picked. So, now, on to the game. If you do not get to be a Harbinger, all the boards have to be flipped over. So, like, let's say we have the Leprechaun, Elizabeth, and Helen, but we don't have the Shark Tooth, which is the werewolf. I know I keep saying Shark Tooth, but that's basically what it is. They get flipped over. These are called the sewers. Remember what I said about not wanting to be one of these guys? You're stuck in these areas. You cannot go into those areas. That's it. That's the end of it. These guys can go in here. They can go wherever they want. But if you're a skull dude, you cannot go in any of these unless the gatekeeper, who's on the VHS, gives a curfew release.
The curfew's over. The Solar Rangers are released.
Then they can go wherever they want, collect whatever keys they want. That's basically how the game works. Now, we're going to take these guys off. I'm going to put this away because it does take up a lot of space, as you can see, and I want to show you guys all the different cool things about this game that makes it unique besides the gameplay. Yes, the gameplay is fun. I love the gameplay. It's very hard and very long to explain. Like I said, on the VHS, they do have a go over it, but we're going to sidestep that for a little bit and go over the parts of the game that I find interesting. So, let me get more comfy. Alright. What I like mostly about this game is if you love horror stories or, you know, lore or anything like that, this is fun because if you play a Harbinger, you get to find out about those characters and things like that, and that was what made this game fun for me. What's really nice is I still have the booklet that goes over a little comic book. Reminds me very much of, oh gosh, Creepshow. And they go over all the characters and all the rules and things like that. If you guys are interested in putting them on my Instagram, if you are interested in that, make a comment below and I will try to get to share with you guys because, but anyway, let's go over some of these peeps. And look, first one is, I believe, Helen or Helene. Helene is purple. If you like purple, be Helene. So Helene is a poltergeist. I know that for a fact. Let's get her character sheet. And that's the cool thing. Everybody gets one of these, so everybody knows who's playing who. There's Helene. So, I'm probably gonna... Now, what's funny is I'm thinking I'm recording upside down, so we're just gonna make that normal. So this is Helene. And Helene. She's got a cool little icon, dollhouse. Sorry, her name is Helen. My bad. Helen. Now, in the game, you don't get to really enjoy these storylines. I really wish they would have done some more stuff with some of these characters. Maybe I'll do a video on each of these characters some more. But I just loved how they did these characters. They did a great job. So yeah, Helen's the baby. We're just gonna go over quickly. Let's see, who's this? This is Anna Chantrine, the witch. And she has the cauldron. Cauldron's kind of cool. I like the cauldron. Were you one of those kids that when you played Monopoly, you'd put your finger in like the thimble and play with it? These have, yeah. Sorry, totally off tangent. Totally off tangent. All right, let's see who's next. Okay, so this guy confuses me. This does not look like a leprechaun. I know it's supposed to be a zombie, guys, but he's always looked like a leprechaun. He's got a top hat for crying out loud. I mean, to hide the brain, I guess. I don't know. Kifu. Okay, the Kifu's the mummy. He's got the cool little snake, the cobra. And I know I probably should be showing you guys the boards here, but like I said, maybe I'll do a video more in depth on them. Elizabetha Bathory, that was her name. She was cool. She was the bat. And then, let's see, Gavardin? I never played the werewolf, but Gavardin is, I guess, his name. Like I said, really fun game. If you can find it anywhere, I highly recommend, if you and a group of your friends love playing fun games, whether it's ones where you fight each other or fight the actual game itself, I highly recommend this game. But yeah, I had to show you guys a little bit about it. I had to talk about it because it's a fun game. And if anybody ever did play this game, let me know in the comments. And, you know, what was your favorite thing about the game? Like I said, challenging my friends was always the fun. It was really cool. But yeah. So if you guys are interested in me telling more about these characters individually, which I may do anyway because I like them so much, I might do that. But yeah, I highly recommend it. If you do find, even if it's the DVD version, I'd say, you know, see if it's as good as what mine looks like. I've only seen the recordings of the DVD version, but absolute fun game. I hope if you guys ever played it, or if you can find it online, snag it and have a ball. I mean, like I said, the VHS is nice because, like I said, the gatekeeper guys in here is really cool. But you can have a friend be a gatekeeper and be the troublemaker, causing all the havoc, like just out of nowhere, stopping the entire game and saying, hey, yeah, if you have a purple key, guess what? Everybody goes to the nearest black hole, and you can mess with the people on the board. I mean, you know, give breaks in between, like he can only say something every 5 to 7 minutes. Things like that. It's a really fun game if you want some crazy, chaotic, spooky, Halloweeny fun. So, highly recommend it. And yeah, hope you guys got a kick out of this video, and talk to you later. Bye!
Tom, whose turn is it next?
Hands up!
Now, wave to me, precious. I'm waving to you. I'm waving you goodbye.